Greetings, everyone. I am Todd Jaeger, and I have something to tell you. Right now, in your pockets are little spiders. Don't swat them. Don't crush them, for they will bite. They will bite on a major artery in your inner thigh. You will bleed. The venom will spread. Stay still. Don't move. Heed my words. Important words to heed there from yours truly. Yes, Todd Quality Jaeger. And welcome to the Todd Sampler for Without Your Head. Welcome to my beard, as well as Cheesecake Man. Cheesecake. You knew that was coming. And today's shirt, Carnival of Souls. Yes, classic. Today, I am going to be speaking about a wonderful film called A Creature Was Stirring. Take a look.
Nice house. It's just you here?
I have a daughter. She's prone to psychotic episodes.
Something is wrong here.
.4 degrees. That's all that's keeping her from slipping away from me. Does that make you feel safe? I feel it. My sweet, sweet girl. She is running out of time.
Whatever's happening in this house, you cannot pray it away.
No one's getting out of this suit. Admit your hand in this.
You don't know what it's like to be a mother!
It's directed by Damien Levick, and it's about a nurse taking care of her daughter's mysterious affliction and struggling to hide her secrets when uninvited strangers take shelter, or rather break into, her house during a lethal blizzard. It's got a 4-person cast. They're very important, each one of them. You have Chrissy Metz, who you may recall from the TV show This Is Us, as well as the classic Onion movie, as Faith. Annalise Basso, as you may recall from the TV series Snowpiercer, as Charm. Scout Taylor Compton as one of the intruders, Liz. And Connor Paolo as Corey, the brother of Liz. A Creature Was Stirring is set during the Christmas holiday time, but it's not about it. It's good at creating a mood and expression right from the start. There's an air of mystery that's obscuring and blurring characters' intentions and motivations, and also doing that with the whole reality of things as well, and the characters' realities. It's unusual, it's mysterious, and wonderfully full of practical effects. This really is a major plus for me because I'm tired of all the slick CGI that just looks, well, I don't want to call it slick, but CGI that looks like a slick cartoon. And there's no wow factor for me in that. But this film hits you with texture, and the practical effects are really, really good. It's set up with an opening montage that can give possible visual clues, and it's setting a tone from the start. It's just right off the bat, I was like, okay, I'm in for this. What's a part of the setup that's really great is that Faith is constantly checking the temperature of Charm. She has to keep her within a certain range, or else you find out later. And either you're like, that makes sense, or but nothing bad, honestly. It can be very psychological as well as possibly creature oriented. And speaking of, for most of the film, you just see the edges of something. You see some spikes. Sort of like what they did in the brilliant film Absentia. You get that from just seeing something just off the edge or at the bottom of the screen. It's really well put, well placed. You know something is going on, but you can't really just put your finger on it just yet. And that's what I loved about this film. You want to try to figure it out. You want to say, oh, it's this, but it'll keep you guessing.
My sweet, sweet girl, she is running out of time.
There's a back and forth throughout this film between Liz and Faith, and has to deal with right and wrong, and especially religious themes. We'll get more into the religious part later. But there seems to be a little bit of a dark wisdom going on as well. And, well, hey, speaking of dark wisdom,
why did the monkey fall out of the tree? Because it was dead.
Very wise indeed. Well, on to the religion part.
Does that make you feel safe?
Yes, religion does play a part in this film, if mainly from an almost fanatical angle, but could there also be an inkling of guilt in Faith's character? Which, again, ironic that her name is Faith. But the film is not preachy, thank goodness. It's not like Exorcist Believer. I know some of y'all like that, but I thought it was a pure flicks film in disguise. It was just preach, 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 which the original Exorcist did not do. So I was really annoyed with all the "you need him in your heart" stuff. So, and if the mother is not religious, why was there a Christmas song, "What Child Is This?" playing on a turntable at one point? Well, again, it's being ironic, but also when you think of the situation that Charm was in, "What child is this?" kind of is a nice little metaphor, if you will. Now, it is not a faith-based film, thankfully. It does show hypocrisy and fanaticism and the damage within that perimeter. There was an interesting conversation at a dinner table that came up. Earlier, Liz had said, why don't you pray for the things that you need? And at the dinner table, Faith said, "Why did you break into my home?" And Liz was saying, "Well, it was cold out and we needed a place to stay." Well, they could have just knocked on the door. But I liked what Faith had to say. "Well, why didn't you just pray for warmth?" I got a smile out of that one.
What's happening in this house? You cannot pray it away.
Liz, one of the intruders, thinks she sees signs of her faith constantly, near to the point of fanaticism. After all, she has a giant tattoo on her back. But if she is very devout, it is interesting, as one reviewer said, then why is she braless? I don't know if religion requires a bra, but that was an interesting point. But she's like those that think it's their duty to give you the message. Recently, I had a customer, while I was trying to help other people, he's standing there for nearly 10 minutes trying to tell me that God wants to speak to me. And I basically just, if he created the universe and everything, I'm sure he could just interrupt what I'm doing for a moment. Okay. I think I need to move on. So I tell him. But anyway, okay. So if some of you think I'm being a little critical, well, then I will compensate. Here is a message from Todd Jaeger Ministries.
Jesus cares for you. He shall provide bread for 1,000-fold. Hello?
Put the Pop-Tart down. I said put it down. You don't need another one.
But, God, I've been fasting. I'm so hungry.
Oh, Todd, I never wanted you to starve. That's just something someone made up.
Oh?
Listen, Jesus said he'll drop by later with some trail mix. That's better for you, and it'll keep you regular.
Oh, okay.
By the way, stop playing with yourself so much. It's not a bad thing, but you do it all the time, and there are better things you could be doing with your time.
Okay, I promise.
Okay, I gotta run. I love your beard.
Thank you, God. And in case you're wondering, yes, I have my spiritual side. After all, I am a devout member of the Disciples of Corky Sherwood. And I am also a member of the Order of Greasy. Thank you, Sky Elabar. Fitting within some of what's going on with the creature is stirring. I have some stuff surrounding me that just came to mind at random. I'm sure there are others that are more directly related, but these what popped up, and I gotta go with my first hunch. When I was talking about the wonderful, deep holiday giallo colors, they reminded me too a bit of Adam Freeman's Deadly Dealings. Yes, I was an executive producer of this one. But the colors were a huge part of the film, as well as his upcoming remake of Scream Dream. On the opposite side of deep colors, you had the vibrant colors of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. I could watch this movie endlessly, but the colors just pop. Culottes. So, as far as the religious aspect of it, if I'm going to watch and enjoy a religious film, it's going to be Ultra Christ. Check that one out. It's delightful. Especially the patron saint of erotic massage. That is wonderful. Then you also have some of the twists. I will get to about this film having a huge twist. But either you'll like that or you won't. But this film, I adored that twist. You have things like I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. And you have The Caller from 1987 with Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. Never in a million years would you guess what's really going on in that. And then, nothing else on that end, but down here, you have, speaking of keeping someone almost a prisoner in their home, a possible affliction, things like that, trying to protect them. You have Spoonful of Sugar, which, holy cow, you have to watch that one a second time to really catch things. You also have Baby Ruby and Son. These all kind of fit within that. And then speaking of twists, but then going beyond the twist, the brilliant 1BR. Hey, Alok! I truly love this film. And don't miss it. Don't miss it, please. And I was talking about deep colors and everything. Well, golly. Reminds me of my peanut butter M&Ms. It's not a plug. I truly love these things. Keep them in the fridge. I got to tell you, Reese's Pieces, they're just peanut butter in a candy shell. When you think of Reese's, you think of peanut butter and chocolate, right? Well, why not with this? For over 40 years, it's just been peanut butter in a candy shell. What the hell? So if I wanted crunchy peanut butter, I just walk around with a jar of that with a spoon. And how would I carry that around? Well, in my hippie dick tote bag, designed by Neil Jones. You can get that and other hippie dick merch here. Get yours today. Clever plug, huh?
How do you make a kid on a swing cry? Tell him his parents died.
More good dark wisdom, hey? Now, some of you are also going to say, Todd, with all this wonderful cheesecake and cherries, and even the peanut butter M&Ms, aren't you worried about a certain medical condition? Well, I've been tested for that. I'm fine. And in reality, let's get serious here, folks, for a moment. I do things in moderation. That's the key. A Creature Was Stirring has a tunnel moment that is so claustrophobic. When I saw movies like The Descent and the cave scene in Dark Nature, I was squirming. A Creature Was Stirring, I think, kind of took an 80s aesthetic and perfected it. Even a creature in it had a Critters vibe, you know, the roly-poly thing. Maybe that was an homage. I haven't read anything about that, but to me, I was like, Critters. But again, not ripping off things. It made me smile. Interpretations. Was the daughter really sick? Does the climax prove that or not? Well, that's part of the twist. The twist has divided audiences. After I watched it and started shooting some of this, I decided to look into other reviews. And yes, it's very divided. I don't see the problem. I loved the twist, especially because it did surprise me. There are some twists that you see a mile coming, others you won't. The Caller, for example. And this one succeeded for me. You'll get one critic as if they're trashing another Shyamalan film, and then people jump on that bandwagon lest they feel like they're inferior if they actually liked it. So, you know, oh yes, why didn't they do this? It's like with Session 9. People on IMDb, regular schmoes, were complaining, oh, there wasn't enough backstory for the characters. Well, you don't want a 3-hour movie. And this one had just enough of everything. And then, in a way, there's a moment that's kind of like in Saltburn, you know, where you get some flashbacks and then you're like, oh. Well, yeah, you get that a little here. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. But unlike Saltburn, which I saw things coming a mile away but still enjoyed it, A Creature Was Stirring has something going on that you're like, okay, what's the deal? And then, you'll either be like, okay, yeah, or wow. And I was in more of the wow category. It's successful for me. The ending had me a little saddened, but in a way it made sense. And even took you deeper into the mindset, say, of faith. So it all came together for me, and I was, left feeling somber and sad a little, but satisfied because it made sense. Basically, the film pulls the rug out from under you. And when it does that successfully, I appreciate that. Some critics have complained, I've seen in reviews, it could have been more compelling, that this was basically a short film that didn't need to be expanded, and it needed more. Of what? I don't know. Hey, I'm not a film scholar, but I know what I like and what affects me and what I think is shit. This one, I was very happy to have seen. I enjoyed every moment of it. It had you incensed, the whole religious furor and the back and forth. and the daughter, just the frustration with the daughter. Sure, I had questions about the intruders. Why didn't they knock on the door and ask for help, or could they use the phone or something? But you know, without that, you wouldn't have the movie. It would have been over like that. It just, or it could have gone other directions. But when it all comes down to it, I adored A Creature Was Stirring, and I hope you will too if you haven't already seen it. Don't worry that it's set during Christmas. It's like Christmas is not necessary, but it gives it a little tone. And it's like The Nightmare Before Christmas or any other holiday themed film. You can watch it any time of the year and it's going to be great. So, A Creature Was Stirring, as if you can gather. Yay! Good job for all involved. Well, you have been watching The Todd Sampler with yours truly, Todd Quality Jaeger, and my beard, along with the ghoul from Carnival of Souls. There's a little fur for you too. You know that had to be in there somewhere. As always, now and forever, cheesecake, man. Cheesecake! I had to contemplate on that for a second. Thank you for watching. I hope that you will come back soon. Well, whenever my next one is, or just look for my other reviews that you haven't seen yet. Hey, everybody, I love you. Well, not all of you, and you know who you are. Take care.
No! This is my cheesecake. Fuck off! Don't make me show my ass again.
Okay, let's stop.